So good morning, my dear students. Welcome to the online classes. In the last class, we are already discussed the types of windings or winding designs which are used in electrical machines generally. Those are concentrated windings and distributed windings. Concentrated windings are suitable for the field winding of DC machines and salient pole machines. Is it? So, but the distributed windings are suitable for the armature windings of the silent pole machines, that means the synchronous machines and DC machines. And now we are going to discuss about the types of armature windings. What are the types of armature windings? Means basically we are using two types of armature windings in synchronous generators or three-phase alternators. What are those means? Single layer and a double layer windings. Second one is integral slot and fractional slot windings. In the last class, we have discussed the single layer and double layer windings. Single layer winding means when the coil side occupies total slot area, that is the single layer winding. Double layer windings means when even number of coil sides, like 2 coil sides, 4, 6, 8 coil sides, occupies in the slot area as a double layers. Such type of winding is called as double layer windings. Most probably we will prefer double layer winding because of they are having advantages over than single layer winding. What are those means? Voltage waveform profile can be improved. That means we got a pure sinusoidal waveform without harmonics. And at the same time, easy to manufacture such type of machines with a double layer windings, and cost also reduces. The third important point is the leakage reactance can be reduced. When leakage reactance reduce, output voltage can be improved. One more thing is that if we are using double layer windings, there is a possibility to provide the what is that corded coils. Corded coils means when the coil span is less than the pole pitch. The coil span is less than the pole pitch of a machine. The such a type of arrangement is nothing but a corded angle or corded coils. Such type of arrangement is called as corded coils. We are discussed in the last class. Now we are going to discuss about integral slot and fractional slot windings. What is mean by integral slot winding first? Integral slot winding means, see here now. In the last class we are already discussed the number of slots per pole per phase. Is it when the number of slots per pole per phase is an integer? Such a type of winding is nothing but integral slot winding. When the number of slots per pole per phase is a fractional number, such type of winding is called fractional slot winding. Is it? So out of these two windings, we will prefer fractional slot winding in our three-phase alternators because of the only advantage is we can improve the output voltage waveform. That means the output voltage can be improved by using this fractional slot winding, and also increase the design flexibility and gain many other advantages. Gain many other advantages as like we are discussing double layer winding. What are those? There is a possibility to obtain the corded coils arrangement. Due to the corded coil arrangement, so many of advantages are there. Due to the corded coil arrangement, what happens? Voltage profile can be improved. Is that why? Because of distribution factor can be reduced. In the next class, next concept we will see that. Is it? That's why these are the advantages of fractional slot windings. But some of the disadvantages are also there by using fractional slot windings. What are those? These harmonics are produced. Is that right? Fractional slot windings are produce different harmonic components. What are those harmonic components? Means of even order harmonics. Is that even order harmonics? We have different types of harmonics. We are already discussed in lower classes. In our subject EM3 subject also we can discuss different types of harmonics coming classes. Is it? Now these fractional slot windings produce even order and harmonics, and fractional number of space flux harmonics. These are the disadvantages of fractional slot windings. And the harmonics, whatever the produced harmonics by fractional slot windings, they can increase the stray losses, and this stray loss, this increased stray loss cause stator core vibration. In our transformer also we are observed that electromagnetic friction. Electromagnetic friction. What is mean by electromagnetic friction? There is a improper laminations, non-uniform laminations. Due to that non-uniform laminations, what happens? Stray losses are increasing. Due to that stray losses, the transformer core is vibrated. The phenomenon is known as electromagnetic friction. Here also, due to these harmonics, stray losses increases. Due to this stray losses, the stator core vibrated. Is that? These are about fractional slot windings and integral slot windings. Is that? So, if we are using these type of windings, is it? What happened here means there is a formation of pitches. There is a pitches means there is a pitch between pole to pole, and there is a pitch between two coil sides of a coil. Is it right? Or due to this distance, what happened there? Due to this distance, who can occupy that distance? Means air can occupy. If air can occupy, what happens? What happens? If air occupies, what happens? If air can occupy means the final generated voltage can be reduced. Is it? So that's why the pitching and distribution of coils reduce the voltage induced in the coils by a factor. Is it? What are those factors? How much factor the induced voltage can be reduced due to this pitching and distribution? Pitching means that may be a coil pitch, that may be a pole pitch, and due to distributed windings of armature circuit. What happened? The induced voltage reduced by a factor. What are those factors? Those factors are called as winding factors. Mainly we have two factors. What are those? See here, pitch factor, which is also known as Harding factor or coil span factor. Another one is distribution factor or breadth factor. Is it? Due to these two factors, what happens means the final voltage can be reduced. Due to these factors, the amount of output voltage can be reduces. Is it? So now we will see how to calculate these factors. When we calculate these factors, then only we can calculate the how much generator voltage can be produced actually. In ideal case, how much voltage can be produced? That is depending upon these two factors. While we are determining these two factors, we can easily calculate the amount of generated voltage in the alternator by using respective EMF equation of alternator. Is it? Now see here, pitch factor or Harding factor or coil span. How to determine this means? Here one thing. In order to determine pitch factor, actually in our armature winding of alternator circuits, we can use corded coils. Is that? So that means coil span. We can use corded coils. Corded coils means when coil span is less than pole pitch. Is that? But in order to determine the pitch factor, this coil span can be compared with the pole pitch, 180 degrees electrical pole pitch. Then we can determine the pitch factor. That's why first the pitch factor can be defined as it is the ratio of the voltage generated in the short pitch coil to the voltage generated in the full pitch coil. Is it? So corded coil means, what is that coil? Short pitch coil. Corded coil means it is a short pitch coil. Actually, we can use short pitch coil, but in order to determine pitch factor, the short pitch coil generated voltage is compared with the full pitch coil generates the voltage. Full pitch coil means when coil span is equal to the pole pitch, that is called full pitch coil. We are already discussed in last class. Is it? Now we will see. So expression for pitch factor Kp or Harding factor or coil span factor case. See here how to determine the expression for pitch factor is first we have to consider the full pitched coil. Full pitched coil means the coil span of a coil in a slot is equal to the pole pitch of any two adjacent poles. Is it? The coil span of a coil in a slot is equal to the pole pitch of any two adjacent poles. Is it? That is called as full pitched coil. See, this is a full pitched coil. If you can observe that, when in a full pitched coil, this is the coil span. The distance between two coil sides is the coil span. That is equal to the pole pitch. Pole pitch means this is the identical point, reference point, and this is the identical point of south pole. The distance between these two identical points of north pole and south pole is called as pole pitch. Now, if we can see 180 degrees electrical between the coil and the poles means coil having two coil sides. Is it? Coil side is nothing but conductor. What happened? In an alternator, when this coil side or conductor of a coil is placed in a rotating field system, what happens? EMF get induced. Is it? Now, the EMF induced in coil side 1 or conductor 1 of a coil, this particular coil is EC1, and EMF induced in a coil side 2 or conductor 2 of this particular coil is EC2. In between them, 180 degrees electrical angle is there. 180 degrees means what now? Those two are in same phase. Those two are in same phase. One more thing is that 180 degrees means what happened? Not only those two are in same phase. Those two are in same direction also. Same phase means what happened? Those two are in same direction. And also this coil side or this conductor length, this conductor angle with respect to north pole, this conductor angle with respect to north pole is south pole is the same. That's why the magnitude of induced EMF in coil side 1 and coil side 2 are equal. Is it? That's why these two induced EMFs in coil side 1, coil side 2, EC1 and EC2 are equal in magnitude, are in same phase. That's why the total voltage is equal to arithmetic sum. That's why EC is equal to EC1 plus EC2, where EC1 and EC2 are the magnitudes. Let us consider E1, no problem. So that means EC is equal to E1 plus E2 means 2E1. Coil side of EC1, same phase. Coil side of EC2, same phase means same direction. Equal in magnitude. That means what happened? Resultant means what happened? Resultant means what happened? Those two are adding in the same direction. That's why it is EC1 plus EC2. E1. Is it? So that's why E1 plus E2 means 2E1. Is it? Because of those two are equal. That's why E1 plus E1 means 2E1. Magnitudes are equal. That's why E1 plus E1 means 2E1. This is the voltage of a coil of a slots. Coil of a armature winding. One coil of a armature winding. Is it? By considering two coil sides, the induced EMF of the coil is 2E1. For what happened? Full pitched coil. Now for short pitched coil, we will observe that. Short pitched coil means what? The coil span of a coil is less than that of pole pitch. Is it? So that means see here. So this is coil span. Coil span means the distance between two coil sides, which is less than that of pole pitch. Pole pitch means the peripheral distance between two adjacent poles. This is the two adjacent poles. Is it? That means what happened here? This is a total pole pitch, but here coil span is up to this only. The total angle, that means the pole pitch is 180 degrees, but coil span is 180 minus alpha because of left of the portion is alpha. So such a type of coil is called a short pitch coil or corded coil. Is it? That's why what happens. Due to this short pitch coils or corded angles, the EMF induced in the two coil sides are equal in magnitude. Is it? Because of their lengths are equal. But those two are in out of phase, not in same phase. That's why the directions are different. That's why what happened? Those two are in out of phase means there is a phase difference means what happened here means the resultant is there. Rejected. That's why now we can observe that the EMF induced in the coil side EC1 is represented with a vector AB. Rejected. And the EMF induced in the coil side 2, that is EC2, is represented with a vector BC. The resultant between these two vectors is AD, that is EC. The EMF induced in the coil side 1, EC1, that is represented with vector AD. The EMF induced in the coil side 2 is EC2, that is represented with vector BC. The resultant between these two phase vectors, sorry, phase means here you are not considering phases RYB, not like that, not output phases. It is phasors, that means voltage phasor of that particular coil. The two coil sides are there. In this coil side one voltage is induced. In this coil two, another voltage is two coil sides. That's why those two voltage phasors are in different phases. That means they have phase difference. That's why when they are having phase difference, how much phase difference is 180 minus alpha. With this much of phase difference, resultant is there between them. What is that? EC, that is represented with a vector AC. So now, how to calculate that? Means simply see here. See here. What happened here? The phasor sum of EC1 and EC2 is EC, which is equal to AC. See here, which is AC. So now we can calculate the coil span factor. Is that right? We are already defined that coil span factor. What is that coil span factor? That is the ratio of voltage generated in the short pitch coil to the voltage generated in the full pitch coil. Right now. So short pitch coil voltage. What is the short pitch coil voltage? Short pitch coil is the actual voltage generated in the coil, because of we are using short pitch coil in alternators. But to determine KC, we have to compare that short pitch coil generated voltage with the full pitch coil voltage. Is it? That's why actual voltage generated in the coil divided by voltage generated in the coil span of 180 degrees electrical. So now the actual voltage generated in the coil, that is short pitch coil, means there is a phasor sum, because of there is a phase difference between two coil side voltage. That's why phasor sum of the voltage of two coil sides, and arithmetic sum of the voltage means it is the full pitch coil. There is no phase difference between those two coil sides of full pitch coil. That's why that is arithmetic sum. Is it? So that's why if we can consider AC, AC means what? Phasor sum of voltage is AC divided by, if we can observe that now. What is this AC? AB plus BC. AB plus, what is that? BC. Or otherwise, this AC can also write, see here, no? This AD is half of the value of total AC. That's why AC is nothing but 2AD. See here, 2AD divided by arithmetic sum of the voltage of two coil sides means, in case of full pitch coil, see here, let us consider this is AB, this is AB. What happened? Those two are arithmetic sum. That's why 2AB. That's why here divided by 2AB. Is it right? 2 get cancelled, AD by A. See here, where the angle is alpha by 2. Cos alpha by 2 is equal to AD by AB. That's why that is cos alpha by 2. That's why the coil span factor Kc is equal to cos alpha by 2. By using this particular formula, we can determine the coil span factor or pitch factor. Is that where alpha is nothing but the electrical degrees. Is that pole pitch? For a full pitch coil, alpha is equal to 180 degrees. Is it? So cos 180 is nothing but 1. Is it? Sorry, cos 180 is nothing but 1 means 1 by 2. That's why what happened 1 by 2 means 0.5 cos 0.5, that is less than 1. That means for full pitched coil cos alpha by 2 is equal to 1 here. That is the case is equal to 1. Is it? So how can we justify this? Where alpha will be 0 degrees means 180 degrees, that is electrical angle, that is not alpha. Alpha is 0 means there is no difference between coil span and pole pitch. The difference between coil span and pole pitch is 0 in case of full pitch coil. So that is alpha. Alpha means what happened? The difference distance between coil span and pole pitch. In case of full pitch coil, what happened? That is 0. That's why in case of full pitch coil, alpha is equal to 0 means cos 0 1. That's why Kc is equal to 1. In case of short pitch coil, alpha is present with some angle 180 minus. Anyway, 180 minus 180 is nothing but 1. Cos 180 is nothing but 1. 180 minus angle is it is less than 1. That's why for short pitch coil, coil span factor is less than 1. That's why you can determine the pitch factor or coil span factor. Is it? So next concept is distribution factor, KD or berth factor. It is important now. So carefully observe here. How can we determine the distribution factor? First we can define distribution factor, after we will determine. So definition. The distribution factor or the berth factor is defined as the ratio of the actual voltage obtained to the possible voltage if the all coils of a popular group are concentrated in a single slot. Actually, in a three-phase alternators, we are using distributed winding as a armature windings. But in order to determine the distribution factor, we can compare the output voltage of distribution factor with concentrated winding. Here we know that distribution winding means the coils are distributed throughout the slots of armature circuits. And concentrated winding means the coils are located or accommodated only one slot. That means here in case of distributed winding, the total voltage is the individual coils voltage, the total individual coils voltage in the slots, in the all slots. When coils are distributed in the all slots means there must be a phase difference. That's why the phasor sum of the individual voltage in all coils of several slots is nothing but distributed winding voltage. But in concentrated winding, what is that? Only one voltage, that is single phase voltage. That's why arithmetic sum is taken place. Number of coils are located in one slot. For n number of coils, the arithmetic sum of each individual coil is nothing but total voltage of concentrated winding for one phase. That's why distribution factor is phasor sum of the coil voltage per phase. That means distributed winding. The coils are distributed throughout the slots. That's why there is a phase difference. That's why phasor sum of the coil voltage is coil voltage per phase. Is it? We have already discussed. When armature circuit is there, the number of slots is divided for the each phase. We have 3 phases. That's why we have 12 slots. Those 12 slots are equally distributed for 3 phases. That's why we can perform per phase analysis here first. EMF equation also we will perform per phase analysis. Finally, for uniform circuits or balanced circuits, what happens? Those 3 phases are having same EMF. That's why we can calculate first per phase analysis. That's why KD is the phasor sum of the coil voltage per phase, that is distributed winding, and arithmetic sum of the coil voltage per phase, that is concentrated winding. Then how to determine all these things? Arithmetic sum is simple addition. Phasor sum is we will calculate vectorically. Is it? Now see here. The phasor sum of individual coil voltage is equal to the total voltages induced in any phase of the coil. Is it? Now see here. Now let first consider M is nothing but M represents the number of slots per pole per phase. M represents the number of slots per pole per phase. That's why M is equal to slots by number of slots by number of poles into number of phases. Is it? So For two pole mission, number of poles are 2. For three phases, for any pole mission, three phases are mandatory. For three phase synchronous generators and alternators, that's why into 3. And for example, 20 slots, it is 20. Is it? And beta is nothing but angular displacement between adjacent slots. In the last class, we are already discussed the slot angle. The slots with respect to the pole, the angle of slot with respect to the pole. Is it? Now it is beta. Beta is nothing but the angular displacement between adjacent slots. Armature circuit having several number of slots. The angular displacement between any two adjacent slots is called as beta. That is measured in electrical degrees. How can we define that beta is nothing but 180 by n? Is it? So total electrical degrees are 180 degrees. For one pole angle is 180 degrees. For two pole angles, 360 degrees. Total circumference. For one pole angle, 180 degrees. In that 180 degrees, what is the angular displacement between two adjacent slots is number of slots per pole. The total electrical degrees 180 degrees. What is the angular displacement between two adjacent slots means number of slots per pole. That's why beta is equal to 180 by n, where n means slots per pole. That's why 180 by n. That is 180 by slots per pole. That's why 180 degrees into poles by slots. This can be considered as third equation. Is it? Next. See here. EC1, EC2, EC3 are the individual coil voltages. Individual coil voltages. Now see here, in case of concentrated winding means what happened? Total coils are located in a single slot. When total coils are located in a single slot, there is no phase difference. That's why we will consider arithmetics and magnitudes are equal. That's why all the coils are having equal voltage, EC. But in case of when the total coils are distributed throughout the slots, in case of distributed winding, as in case of distributed winding, due to the phasor difference, there are different voltages. That's why EC1, EC2, EC3 are the individual coil voltages for distributed windings. And for concentrated windings, arithmetics of EC will be the what happened voltage. Is it right? So now see here. In distributed winding, the coils are distributed throughout the slots of armature circuit. Let the number of slots of armature circuit is n is equal to 4. Number of slots per pole per phase is equal to 4. Number of slots per pole per phase is equal to 4. In that four slots, how many coils are arranged? For example, 4 coils. First coil, second coil, third coil, 4 coils. 4 coils means each coil induces voltage when those are interacted with rotating magnetic flux from field system, rotating field system. Is it right? So that's why here those 4 slots having 4 coils, those 4 coils induced EMF, and those 4 coils are having phase difference. They are out of phase. That's why there is a phase difference. That's why this AB represents the first coil induced voltage, EC1. This vector BC represents the second coil induced voltage, EC2. This vector CD represents the third coil induced voltage, EC3. This vector DF represents fourth coil induced voltage, EC4. One more thing is that now the angle between reference phase, that means these are the represented phasors AB, BC, CD, and DF. What phasors? Voltage phasors are individual coils, and each of these phasors is a chord of a circle with the center O and sometimes an angle beta at that point O. See here, this is total angle beta with AB, and with this AB, BC is having beta. With this BC, CD is having beta angle. With this CD, beta is having. With this CD, DF is having beta. Is angle means phase difference between these phases. Is it? Now, the phasor sum AF. See here. These are all individual coils. The resultant is there for this 4 coil individual EMFs. The resultant for all these four phasor is AF. All these four phasor is AF. That is represented with simply EC. That is represented with simply EC. That voltage phasor is represented with vector AF. Is it? So this AF is having the phase difference of m beta by 2. M beta by 2. AF is having the phase difference of m beta by 2 with O. And one more thing is that this is the first coil induced voltage EC1. So that is having the phase difference of, what is that here? Beta. Beta. Is it with respect to some reference points? Is it in a slotted circuit of armature? Now see here. This is the total length of AB. In this, the half of the length of AB is represented with let AM. Let AM. Then we can project this. This is the length of OM. OM. The angle between this beta by 2, this which can form a right angle triangle. Now we can start our analysis. See here. The arithmetic sum of individual voltage coils is given as M into EC. EC means what is that, ma? In case of concentrated winding, all coils are located in single slot and those all coils are in same phase. That's why EMF is arithmetic sum, and also the each coil voltage is same. That's why each coil voltage represented with EC. So that's why for the same figure is for concentrated winding, each are having EC. Is it? So now half of the value is OM. Is it? AB is represented with AM plus DM. Is it? So here MAB, MAM. Is it 2AM? Is it? M means with the number of slots per pole. Is it right? The total slot, first we can consider one coil voltage. That's why M into, is it? So here 2AB, AB is nothing but 2AM. Is it? M into 2AM. And what is AM? See here. So we are already discussed this is a right angle triangle. Then what happened? Sine beta by 2. Sine from the triangle, you can observe that, no problem. Sine beta by 2 is nothing but what is that? AM by OM. See, sine beta by 2. Is it? So what is that? AM by OA here. AM by OA. That means AM is equal to OA into sine beta by 2. OA into sine beta by 2. So 2m is common multiplication. 2m into OA sine beta by 2. This is for concentrated winding, arithmetic sum of individual coil voltages. And phasor sum for distributed winding. So for the same figure means what happened? Different. Phases are different. In concentrated winding, they are having same phase. That's why only we can consider beta winding. But here what happened? Different phases are. Is it? That's why the resultant is exist EC. That's why what happened here? This is AF, which is having the angle m beta by 2, which is having the angle m beta by 2. So then from that sine theta is equal to, see here, this sine m beta by 2 is equal to what happened, that AF by OA. AF by OA, that means AF is equal to OA into sine m beta by 2. 2 is common. AF is a 2AC. See here. AF is nothing but 2AC. You can consider midpoint here. What happened? This half of the value. But AF is equal to 2AC. We can consider what happened here. This is a triangle. What is that triangle? This particular triangle we can consider. Is it? So then what happened here? Sine theta is equal to AF by OC. That's why what happened? 2OA sine m beta by 2. AF is equal to 2AZ. That means we can consider OAZ triangle. This is AF is nothing but this is total AF. Then sine theta sine m beta by 2 is nothing but AF divided by OAF. OAF triangle. Is it? That's why what happened? 2OA sine m beta by 2. Already 2 is there. Is it 2OA sin m beta by 2? Finally, we can substitute the phasor sum 2OA sin m beta by 2. Arithmetic sum of coil voltage is 2OA m sin beta by 2. 2OA get cancelled. Finally, sin m beta by 2 divided by m into sin beta. This is the distribution factor. Like this, we can calculate. Is it? So that's it. So next, winding factor. Winding factor means the product of pitch factor and distribution factor is the winding factor. That is KW is equal to KP into KP. So by using these two, RMS voltage can be improved. Is it? RMS voltage can be improved, but voltage profile, net average voltage can be reduced. That's what. The winding factor is the method of improving the RMS generator voltage in a three-phase AC machine, so that output voltage does not consist any harmonics. When RMS value increases means harmonics are less. Why we have to consider these windings means we are already discussed in last class. Why we are considered double layer winding? Why we are considered fractional slot winding is in order to increase the voltage profile. In order to increase the voltage profile. Voltage profile means we have to obtain a pure sinusoidal wave. A pure sinusoidal wave. When a pure sinusoidal waveform is obtained means what happens? There are no harmonics. When there are no harmonics means what happens? RMS voltage will be obtained. When the harmonics are eliminated by using double layer windings, by using distributed windings, by using distributed windings, by using corded coils. Corded coils means the coil span is less than the pole pitch. Is it right? Okay, thank you.